Okay, I thought the picture wasn't going to come off then. Hi guys, this is the pre-show. So
the green room.
It's not the main show, it's the pre-show. So we're a little bit running late because Cormac was chasing from some chickens around his garden.
Don't we call this in showbiz because that's what we're in now. Isn't this the green room?
This is the what? Sorry.
The green room, don't you have that? The green room where all the celebrities sit down before Jonathan Ross. I used to watch that before.
Yeah, the green room. There's a few different shows like that. Yeah, they have like the meeting room. So yeah, we'll be properly live in a few minutes. Not too long. So let's just go a quick round the room. So Nicole, if you want to just let us know if you've been busy this week, what you've been up to.
Yeah, I've been really busy here in the States. Actually, we have the first ever Gadget Repair Expo, which focuses strictly on the repair retail industry. So like cell phone repair, computer repair. So it's just strictly focused on that, whereas a lot of other shows kind of combined it. And so I've been a big part of that, just helping out, kind of pull everything together. We also have a space there. So I've been busy with that. And then we have some more commercial clients that we signed with. So, and that's in addition to training. So it's been busy, but a good busy.
Well, that's pretty good. What about yourself?
Oh, wait, one more announcement. I just announced that I'm available for fractional VP or director work remotely for short term. So that's really a big announcement for me too.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I suggest you shout that out again when we go properly live in 1 minute, and when you do your introduction, and you'll get a few more people on that one. What about yourself, Cormac? You been busy this week?
Well, yeah. What I'm thinking now, I'm just looking at us there. Really, we're kind of like we have America, we have Ireland, and we have England. We're kind of like the Teck UN. Basically, missing a few countries, but we're still like the Teck UN. Have I been busy this week? I have been very, very, very busy, but we're kind of in a changeover. We're reducing staff, and people have moved on. I don't think I'm replacing them, so just going to go back, and so I'm doing a lot busier. So I'm outside a lot more, talking to people a lot more, and basically being a tech a lot more, which is good fun. But we're very quiet and residential, which is grand, but we're busy with business, which is grand, and sales of laptops have gone right down. I mean, really, really down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
I don't know where it is. It's just at the moment, sales have gone right down of laptops. I sold some, but not the quantity we want. But it is grand, Are you busy, Phil? Besides trying to run Tech Max and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've been busy with the retail side, so that's good. Probably more so on the call outs and stuff like that than the actual store, I'd say. But still, store's been okay. But Tech Max wise, we've been awfully busy, and you'll see why in a few minutes because we're going to be announcing quite a few names who will be attending. We haven't announced before. So, right, it is actually time for us to do our countdown now. So we're about to go properly live. We're a couple of minutes late. So let me go and hit that button, and we'll see you in roughly 30 seconds.
Okay.
You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show, and it's where we help your IT business grow. I've got two guests on tonight. We've got Nicole, and we've also got Cormac. Obviously, they'll introduce themselves in a few seconds and tell you all about themselves. And I've just noticed my camera's just shoved me all the way down to the bottom of the screen, so I'll have to sort that out in a second. But anyway, if anyone is watching, just make sure you comment, let us know who you are, where you're viewing from, and so forth, and we'll give you a shout-out. I can already see Richard Creedy's there saying evening. Alison Cook from EADR from Norfolk is also there. And you've got Rich Towerforth as well, and Hayley at Phase 4 Computers. So, Nicole, while I'm sorting my camera out, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, what your tip of the day is.
Yeah, so I am Nicole Russell. I'm the CEO of Cellbotics, a training center located here in the U.S. We have 2 locations, one in Houston, Texas, and one in Atlanta, Georgia. And we do online training as well. So we have a full suite of online repair training and business courses on sellboticsonline.com. And we have an enterprise suite. So we do consulting for recyclers, refurbers, and all of that kind of jazz. And my tip of the day is to follow me on LinkedIn and model your LinkedIn page after mine, because we're going to be talking about how to promote yourself. And for me, a lot of it is LinkedIn based, where a lot of people may comment LinkedIn is, not the going thing. I actually believe the opposite. I get a lot of business from LinkedIn. So that's my tip of the day.
Phil's gone off air for a while.
There we go.
Oh, there he is.
Back to you now. There we go. So as I was saying, that's pretty good. So let's move on to Cormac. Cormac, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are and what you do. While I have camera issues, should we say, and microphone issues. But
I'm Cormac from Crosshaven Computers, your man in Ireland. First of all, Nicole, I'm going to follow your tip. I already follow you on LinkedIn. I'm trying to LinkedIn is a tool that I have never really got my hands around on. I tried to run ads on it for the first time this week and made a complete mess of it. But I was thinking, I've always been running ads on Facebook to sell refurb or new laptops. And I thought, what am I doing? Going for low, trying to sell one when I should be trying to sell to companies on LinkedIn. Right. So I'm going to follow you to get tips. I follow you anyway, but I'm actually going to concentrate on your page. And I'm going to actually get on to you for a few questions. I'm going to self-promote as well. It's kind of a side project. I've been trying to get VR going because I know it's going to be the future for business meetings and all that, but being way too busy. I did get to meet Phil in VR. I got a platform where tested and ready. So I'm calling all these techs out here. Thank you for Laura, man. I'm getting all the techs wanting to meet them. Nicole's meeting us there, by the way. You are meeting us there, Nicole. Sorry.
I need to get on there.
So I just launched a landing page. It's actually fairly crap because I didn't have any time to do it.
What is it?
But it's vrnetworking.ie. But the reason I've got the landing page up is that I needed to hit the servers to do its work. I'll change it around in a few weeks, but I much prefer to have something up rather than talking about it. So I'll get it up. It looks terrible. That'll make me change it. But I'll look out for the Tech for Tech group as well, and I'm going to put up there and hopefully some people will meet us. But yeah, go to the vrnetworking.ie just so I can get some hits really. And try to. Well, I'm doing the first event there in a few weeks if you want to sign up for that. But besides that, that's that. Thank you.
Okay, it's no problem. I'm going to say VR should be pretty good. And I do advise everyone who is watching, have a look at Nicole's and Cormac's LinkedIn, Facebook, and so forth pages, even mine as well. You'll learn a lot about how different people do things. I'm going to say you don't have to copy exactly what they do, but obviously you can sort of follow what they're doing. Looks like everyone's suddenly all chatting all at once, so they've all popped in. So. Yeah. Do we want to become famous?
I want to become famous. No.
I do.
Yeah. That was me who posted
World domination is my plan.
Oh, yeah.
Cormac's already king of Ireland, so he can't get much more famous than that.
Well, before we even continue, I got my first viral video on TikTok. I got 100,000 views on TikTok. I'm 100,000 views on TikTok. And I wasn't even in the video, and it was a complete another fluke. But I'm famous now, so that's about it, really.
That's awesome.
So just happens to be the only video you're not in that people actually watch.
Yeah, it was
right. What the heck?
That's how it goes. Let's say hi to Robert as well from Inverness Computer Centre. Richard Creed is going about spammer. Yeah, we know, or I know. Let's put it that way. It's been seen too, so it shouldn't happen again. But we'll soon find out if it does. Right, just ignore the message if you see anything. Oops, something went wrong. That's where I've just stopped that person that's sending more messages. Right, so to me next. So I'm the owner of Chips Computers. I also work as the marketing manager, or whatever you want to call it, at Tech for Techs. Obviously, that's what we're doing now. Is Tech for Techs Tech Talk. The first things I'm going to bring up probably is going to be the news. So some news what you may be aware of or not. Obviously, while Tech for Techs, while at Tech for Techs, we try not to mention political situations and things, but unfortunately, tech can be affected by it. So the first thing is software. A lot of software programs and company employees who work on the software and so forth work in Ukraine and Russia. So they do have a lot of software talent, unfortunately, or for whichever way you want to look at it. This will obviously cause issues in the long run. For example, the streaming software we're currently using, called Restream, is actually from Kiev, or however you want to pronounce it, in Ukraine. So obviously, there's going to be things going to be affected in the long term and short term. Ukraine also supply more than 90% of US semiconductor grade neon. That is critical for lasers used in chip making and stuff like that. While the US is said to have 3 to 4 weeks supply of neon, memory firms like Micron Technology said it has a diverse sourcing, so that means there's plenty available elsewhere. So it's hard to say how it will affect things going forward, but like anything, if there's less supply, it generally means prices are probably going to go up, unfortunately. And that's not including problems from power and what am I talking about today? Power and gas prices are going up as well, affecting everything from shipments, manufacturing, and even our own business and electric gas prices and so forth. So this obviously is going to affect all of us at some point in the future. On Tech Max news, so if you haven't registered already, I suggest you go register. So if you don't know about Tech Max, that's the event we're going to be doing in a few months' time. It's on the screen now. It's on the 24th of June. Now, we have got quite a few more confirmed vendors. Again, this is on top of the ones I've already mentioned. So the most recent one since my last show, we've got AData, we've got Mercusys, we've got Cooler Master, we've got Norton, love them or hate them, they are coming. We've got Spire Technology, which is a distributor. We've got Target Components as well, which are a distributor. They're all confirmed. We've got Akasa, Case King, which is also another distributor, Endgame Gear, Stream Playfi, I think it is. I think the newest company doing streaming gear. You've got CoLink as well. You've got Leolan and Fantex as well. So sorry if I pronounced some of those slightly out, but I'd get my own name wrong if it weren't written on a computer every day. Right. Okay. So we've got quite a lot to go through today. So first of all, before we go anywhere further, I've got to show you this. And this is our advert from Microsoft and VIP. Windows 11, powerful, productive, and profitable for resellers. Windows 11 was built with usability, efficiency, and security in mind, reimagining the way a PC should work. Windows 11 has been beautifully simplified with a streamlined UI. It's simple to upgrade. VIP is your destination for genuine Windows 11. Contact your VIP account manager for the latest pricing and bundle deals. There you go. And if you didn't understand that, it basically means Microsoft and VIP are the sponsor for today's show, and always get genuine Microsoft Windows 11. Right. Okay. So let's go on to the main topic. So main topic is you are awesome. Tell everyone. What does it exactly mean? Basically, it's about promoting yourself, telling everyone you're great. Which, okay, I don't expect you to walk up to everyone you see on the street and go, "Hey, I'm great. Go and get some work from me," or whatever. Or if you need your PC repairing, come to me, because they'll probably look at you and think you're a little bit crazy. I know I would. But it's going to be different ways you can actually tell people that, whether it's through social media, email, and so forth. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we've got Nicole and Cormac on tonight, who are going to basically give you some advice, and obviously I will as well. So let's start off with Nicole, considering she's the next person on the list next to me. So let us know what you do to promote yourself, basically.
Yeah, so I think that you should tell everyone. So like the shirt that I have on right now on the back, it says, "Stop me, ask me how to fix your electronic." Or I think this one says cell phone, okay? And so, shirts are great, but I think the very first step to telling everyone about what you do is being comfortable talking about yourself. For me, that was really hard when I first started in business. I had these like flea market spaces. There's 7 of them. They were in different states. And one of the things in flea markets is that you have to be very comfortable talking to people or you won't make any sales. But it was really hard for me to talk about myself, like what I do and all the things that I've accomplished. So I think as a business owner and as you try to start spreading the word, it's just learning how to talk about yourself and show your body, your face on social media and get over your own insecurities. That's probably the first step, because I've spoke to people through the groups and when I'm posting, when I talk about, hey, people need to see you and know what you do, and then also your logo and branding and all of that. And a lot of people will give me, they'll come back to me with, well, I'm not comfortable with the way I look, or people have treated me differently because of the way I look, or people are going to judge me, or they have their own self-conscious issues, which I do too. I have my own insecurities. I hate hearing myself when I'm recorded. I definitely don't like watching video of myself. It almost makes me want to throw up. So, but if you follow me, you would see how much content I do, and I have to watch all of it because I have to critique myself. So you have to get over that. That's like the number one thing is somehow what I did is I just looked up content on YouTube. I did get a coach that really helped me learn how to just accept myself and know that other people are going to accept me too. We think that other people think about us, but in reality, they're thinking about themselves. So realizing that people aren't actually judging you too much, they're judging themselves, and then just putting yourself out there. Once you get past that hurdle, changing the image that you have online to make it a visible photo of you. Sometimes we use these like really filtered photos and they don't look real. They're not you. People can't translate that to what happens when they see you. And then putting your logo with that. So making sure you always have your shirt on, making sure that your social media graphics always show your logo and if you want to show your team with you, have your team in the photo with you and you all are promoting the logo, and then your image should always say what you do. So I think the main thing is just getting comfortable talking about yourself is the first step for me.
That's absolutely brilliant. I'm glad you said that because that was my number one thing, what I was going to mention first.
Yeah.
So you
Gotcha.
beat me to it. But yeah, the biggest way to promote your brand is you, basically. Get your face on everything. People will remember you before they will remember some random name of a computer store or whatever. A lot of people, it's like they'll remember my name or they know I'm called Mr. Chips, but they don't remember, okay, my name isn't Mr. Chips, but that's what they think it is. They basically remember that before they know the name of the computer store, which is Chips Computers. Even though it's got the same name in it, they think it's that. So you're an independent trader, so you want to put your face on everything. That's something that a big company cannot do. So
Right. And I want to add to that real quick before we move on from it, because some people will say, like big companies, well, CEOs don't do that. You don't see CEOs of companies just running around putting their face on everything. Well, we are, as retail businesses, we're in the town, we're with the people, One day you may reach that status where you've got 100 locations and you don't want anybody to know who you are. But if you are a business with a couple of locations and you're trying to dominate one town or one city, all you need to do is become the face in that town or city of the person that has these companies, and your face with the logo, and you're growing that logo and that face, and you can dominate your whole area. It's not as hard as you think it is once you get into it and you're everywhere. You're out at all the local events, you're speaking on their local radio station, you're going live on your social media, you're involved in your community, you're going to all the networking events, and then all of a sudden you literally walk around your town or your city and a lot of people know you just as that person. There's actually a guy on LinkedIn that I follow, and they call him MacBook. I don't know. I know what he does. Okay. He wears a blue suit. Okay. And he sells MacBooks and buys MacBooks, and he does everything. That's what I know him for, right? I don't deal with MacBooks, so I haven't done business with him. But even though I don't do business, I still know who he is. And it's because his face and his blue suit and his logo are everywhere. And that's what you should do.
Exactly. I totally agree there. I'm going to say it's something what I've seemed to think America does better than they do in the UK. If you go and drive through a small town or a city in America, you'll see billboards up everywhere for lawyers or whatever it is. And the picture of the person who runs the business, his face is slap bang on there. It's like about 50 foot wide and high and everything. It's huge. But you remember the guy. Where over here, you don't tend to see that as much, especially for independents. I know Cormac's done a bit of advertising. We'll see if he's done that or not in a few minutes. But yeah, you tend to find your advantage over an independent is people can relate to you more so than a large company, because a large company, like over here, you got PG Tips, which is a brand of tea, which they used to use monkeys basically for their talking monkeys, which would pour themselves cups of teas and stuff like that. You've also got the meerkats as well at Go Compare, which is a bit controversial at the moment with them being Russian meerkats, but that's another story. But people remember them for these different brands for not necessarily the name. They'll go, oh, what's that Compare company with the meerkats on it, or the tea bag range with the actual the monkeys. And as you said, Nicole, you remember what the guy looks like, but you don't remember his business.
And so I know what he does, right? That's it. And I can find him too.
Exactly. So make sure your face is your brand. You are your brand. So yeah, definitely promote that. Right. Well, let Cormac get a word in now. So come on, Cormac, tell us, have you stuck your face on much of your marketing? I know the answer to this one actually, but you can tell us anyway.
You're preaching to the converted. I'm everywhere. We done billboards at Christmas time. I'm totally into what yourself and Nicole are saying. I made myself the face of this. I wanted to be stopped in the street. When I go into the supermarkets, in the local supermarkets, people will stop me and talk to me. They say, "Oh, we saw your ad. We like this or this." I'm all over the place because I want to be all over the place. Now it's easy for me to be in front of the camera because I enjoy being in front of the camera. But as Nicole was saying, it takes a while because you, by the very nature of it, you putting yourself out there on social media, you might occasionally get a little comment here or there and everything. But the way I look at that is that show me what the person who gives a negative comment, which happens very rarely, by the way, show me what they have produced. You know, they never produce anything. They just sit back. So it means nothing. And I talk to my friends' kids or my girlfriend's kids or whatever about this, and then kind of point out that, you know, it doesn't matter what people say to you on social media. They're just warriors pretending they're, you know, but I'm also trying to install the fact that there's real people at the end of these comments as well. So don't say them, you know, it's not right. But yeah, so I'm all over. But if you're not confident about being in front of the camera or talking in front of the camera, you can have pictures of yourself. The billboard things are interesting. So that's a good way to promote yourself. Myself in the last week or two, I'm going to take a more aggressive stance on getting myself out there in another way. We got well over 100 5-star reviews. I don't promote that enough. That's going to be going up on LinkedIn. It'll go up on Instagram. It'll go up on all them. Why? And I tell you why. Because I've been in companies there for the last few weeks, and I came in after other IT companies. I came in there, and I will never walk into an office, and no matter what the customer says to me about the previous company, I will never criticize them. Yeah, I won't. But we have been picking up business. Yes, we have a good reputation, but when you walk in, that's chronic. You would sit down and say, "Why did you leave the last IT company? They haven't returned our calls or something," you know? And you're like, "Oh, that's the bare minimum. Like, come on, give me a break." I'm like, I was thrown a grenade there by a school, which I don't really manage, but I do work for them. They were after paying whatever full price for a call out for the printer person, and the printer person walked out the door and they said, "Yeah, that's a Microsoft. We have it set up. There's a Microsoft issue. Your IT guy will look after that." And when the school rang me, I went, "No, that won't be happening." I said, "That person threw me a grenade." I said, "Second of all, that company did not have the decency to pick up the phone while they were on site and talk to me." So I won't be chasing them. Okay. So my point is, I had 3 or 4 business meetings for new clients in the last couple of weeks. I think I got them all. And I came in and I didn't criticize one company, but I know the weaknesses of other companies. I was like saying, and another thing, whenever I go into an interview, I will say, I'm here to see if this job suits ye and us. You know, it's not me walking in with humble pie, can I have the job? I'm kind of putting it to them that my exact thing when we ring them up is we don't take on every client. We only take on clients that will bond with us and us. And then my next thing I said, concerning pricing, we go for long-term relationships with customers. We're not in here to make a kill off ye like some companies. So I'm throwing massive shade to a lot of companies out there. I'm naming no one, but I know their weakness. We are not like that company. I said, and unlike other companies out there, and it's not like I'm criticizing any one company around there. Unlike other companies, I said, we will respond to your calls. I said, we will answer them. Will I make it that day? Will I then? It depends how busy you are, but you will get an answer off us. I said, you will get an answer, and that's a 10. And I've told them out straight in as well with the company. You will understand that we will be taking our summer holidays. This is, you take your holidays, we take our holidays. So it's all up front to them. But I think the key to it is to go in and walk into that meeting. And the key to it is not to be walking in with a begging hand in hand, please take us on, please take us on, sit down, kind of go, how you doing? We're kind of interviewing you before you interview us. Because I prefer to walk away and have a cup of coffee. If they're going to be troublesome, it's not. And one of the last things, I'll just finish up, I have pointed out to these people that if you come in, I said, because I went on site for a job and they were all Windows 7 computers. I was like, what company would leave you with Windows 7 computers? It's not right. You know, if a company wouldn't agree to upgrade their computers, I would just walk out. I'm not doing that. So I would say all computers have to have SSDs. They all have this. And I would say, you're bringing us in as experts. If you listen to us, things will run right. If you don't want to implement that, what we say, there's probably no point us being here. And already that's making you more desirable, I think. We got the jobs anyway in the lab. So I'm being a bit more aggressive with my marketing, but with a smile.
With a smile, yes, definitely. I don't know about smiling, but on this picture, what I saw here, you don't seem to be smiling that much. You sort of look
at Santa Claus was just visiting. I didn't smile too much on that, but Santa Claus did. Santa Claus did come at the end. That was our billboard, Nicole.
That's great.
Yeah, the Santa bit we photoshopped in. But if there's any kids watching, that really was Santa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wanted to add to what you said because you're talking about reviews and how they don't get on LinkedIn. I actually have the same issue. And what I do is I screenshot the review on my phone. And I haven't done this, but I'm going to do it too. It's funny that you're doing that. And I've been thinking about that too. Well, on our website, I would screenshot our reviews from Google My Business page and then use the editor to highlight some of the key words because our reviews are sometimes really big. And then what I do is I load them to our website because we have to create trust when they land on the website. And so we have like our badges and then our reviews. We have like 2 or 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be screenshotting. This is something we were going to do next week is screenshot our reviews, highlight the words, and we're going to start putting them on other platforms like Yelp, LinkedIn. So basically like, one time a day we'll post a review, the next day a different review, because like you said, a lot of our reviews are either on Facebook or Google My Business. We get a lot of reviews on Google My Business. Nobody ever sees those unless they go to that platform. And then, LinkedIn, they have the, ask for a recommendation, which is really big. And you should have more recommendations than what you given. So I always, when I've worked with someone, if I've had a conversation with someone like more than 3 times, I'll just message them and say, hey, do you mind leaving me a recommendation? And sometimes they'll say, can you give me like 2 or 3 points that you want me to talk about? And I have to tell them what I want them to say in it. And that's also hard, but that's a good way to grow people looking at you on LinkedIn. The more recommendations you have, the better.
Well, I was thinking as well, Nicole, as if you take, we would have to do it kind of intelligently. Don't do it every couple of days. If you put up a picture on Instagram of the reviews, or this review. So one of the first things people look at when they go into Instagram is they'll go into your profile. And if you have your profile, all your pictures in Instagram, if you have 5 or 6 of them close enough up to the top with all 5 reviews, they'll be well happy with that, I would imagine.
Right. And see, we use a software called Hello Wolfie to post every day, all day on our social media platforms automatically. And so for us, we have a lot of content that's going up all the time. And that's just to keep us updated in the algorithm, like with hashtags and all that. So for me, if I put 1 a day of reviews, it's literally not going to look like a lot because we have so much content going up. But I agree with you. I think that you do have to take your reviews from other platforms and share them. And the best way to do it is through a screenshot, because people don't like that copied text, because you could change that text, And then you had talked about you deciding if you want to take on your clients. We do the same thing. So we have like a discovery call, and I'm asking them, I have a list of questions for you. Do you have someone on your team that is going to implement the changes that we recommend? Are you open to hearing that you need to change things? Is your team going to be transparent enough for us to get information from them? So we're actually interviewing the company before we take them on. Now, we do consulting, so we're reviewing processes. It's a little bit different. Sometimes we're doing hardware repair, but a lot of times it's a consulting call. So I'm trying to figure out from them if the company is open enough and ready to hear that they're doing something, that they should be doing something differently before I take them on. Because like you said, I mean, you don't want to walk around looking like you're starving for clients either. When you have the choice to say, I take you as a client or not, especially when it comes to commercial clients, it kind of sets you as a standard versus you just begging for work. Please, I'll take anybody, I want my team to be happy too. It's not just all about your team. I want your team to be happy too, but I have to worry about my team too. Can my team tell you, hey, we need to do this, and your team not push back on them too hard?
Yeah, definitely some good things there. Right, I think I better get my head in here, because otherwise I'm not going to get a chance to say anything with these two going off. You're well on the ball tonight. Right, let's have a look. One of the things what I always go by when trying to promote yourself is I've basically got a list of 7 things I go by, basically. Okay, so I'm spilling all my secrets now. So my list is, and I've even got this on a sticky
I'm writing
note.
them down.
So yeah, so things you've got to promote. Okay, you're local. Obviously, you're a local business. There's no point promoting yourself to someone at the other side of the country or whatever. You want local business, unless you are selling lots of items on the likes of eBay, Amazon, whatever. Then that's totally up to you. But primarily, you should be local. Customers want to support you, especially at the moment after all the COVID stuff. Customers want to support local, and this has generally been the rule throughout time. Obviously, if they sometimes see things a bit cheaper elsewhere, they will go elsewhere. But if it's usually something like support, where they want something repairing, they want to go local. They don't want to have to send it off to, let's say it, PC World, and then they have to send it off to Ireland to get it repaired, to send it back, and then get messed up. And the last thing we want to do is basically do this. We don't want to take the PC out of your world. So we basically, obviously, if you don't know who PC World are, they're a big, basically, retailer over here. We sort of have different names over the years, but basically, the last thing we want to do is basically let you lose your machine. So you've got to basically, obviously, promote your skills and experience. How many years you've been doing this? Most of us have been doing this for years and years and years. I've been doing this myself. Self-employed, 17 years, worked for other places 5 years, and I was doing this sort of thing when I was a kid at school, when they didn't even know how to use Windows 95. I had to set up the network and all this. So you've got years of experience. Promote it. People want to obviously work with people who have got experience, rather than, sorry to say it, if you just come out of college or university or whatever, you've got no experience. There's a big difference between knowledge and experience. Sorry to say it. You can learn lots of stuff at university, but you can't learn how to be a certain way and how to do certain things. Things change that quickly, so you have to be good at, obviously, fault findings and stuff like that. So next is, obviously, always set to deliver a far higher quality of service than anyone else, any of your competitors. So, and to do that, you have to know what they're offering, which means you may have to be a bit sly. You may have to find out, obviously, how much they charge, what they include in their services. The thing is, if you don't ask, you don't know, and you might be actually the worst computer shop or whatever you are in your obviously area. If you don't ask, you don't know. So either you ask a friend or a family member, or why not make a friendship with your competitors? Go round and see them, say hello, ask them what they do, or you can use places like the Tech for Techs group, and we can do surveys and ask how much you charge, what do you offer, and stuff. But obviously, that's for nationally or internationally in some cases, but it doesn't actually tell you about your local competitors. And I think Cormac's cleaning his camera there by the sounds of it. So,
Yeah.
right, okay. Obviously, they can depend on you. You need to allow your customers to obviously be able to depend on you. So, as Cormac was saying, you need to answer that phone when they ring, or you need to return that call as soon as you can. If you don't, they're sort of going, well, they're not bothered about me. It's probably customers are a lot more like that with smaller companies than bigger companies. If a smaller company doesn't get back in touch with them straight away, they'll move on to someone else. Where if you get a bad meal at KFC or Burger King or McDonald's or whatever, you'll probably still go back next time you're hungry. Where a smaller company, if you have a bad experience, you generally tell them no. So you have to basically you have to make sure you're giving them that constant, consistent service, so that you have to be accountable for everything you do. Okay, and the biggest thing, you're part of the community, so promote that you're local, you're independent, your kids go to school round here, you interact with things that are going off. For example, we sponsor the local flower and vegetable show they do at the top of the road at the community centre sort of thing. So it's little things like that. We try and get a name behind the potatoes, but we can't. The chip shop gets that one because we're called Chips Computers. We'd like potatoes. But we usually ended up going for tomatoes or something like that. But just support it. It doesn't cost you much. It might cost you £5 to sponsor a vegetable for the day or whatever. It's not a lot. So try and get involved with a local community. So, and you may have a lot of vegetables customers as well, but that's another story. But yeah, so be part of the community. Join in with your local schools. Local schools obviously have got kids. Kids are into games. And when kids want the games or the computer's doing, they ask mummy and daddy, can we get it from ABC Computers or whatever you want to be called? So intermix with them. We do like the website for the local schools and stuff like that. We don't do much in the way of websites these days. I must admit they're the only ones we tend to do. But we help them out and so forth, and in turn it promotes us in the long term. Even giving like free Wi-Fi in your local area of your store. That's another thing we do. We have like a mesh system on like a radar on the outside of the shop, and then another unit at the top of the road at the community centre. So anyone in a nearby area can connect up to our Wi-Fi system. Obviously, it's independent from obviously our repair stores. But if anyone goes on, they're greeted by a screen. Oh, this free internet is provided by Chips Computers. Thank you for using it. Blah, blah, blah. So
that's great.
That's clever.
Tell them they're there, and it works, and it does work because we get, for example, we do have a fish and chip shop next to us, which obviously people park up outside, and you can see them surfing on the phone. Obviously, I can't see exactly what they're looking at, and I probably don't want to know what they're looking at in some cases, but you can see they're obviously using it, and obviously when you have got these systems set up, obviously make sure you cover yourself with data protection rules and all this, that, and the other. But most of these things let you do that, so it's pretty easy to do. And I think a lot of mesh systems let you do a system like that these days. So that's roughly my 7 main things what I try and point out when I'm doing these sort of things. So they're sort of combined into probably the way I said it. Probably squashes down to about 4 or 5, but it was 7 in there. But I'll put that in the description afterwards so people can have a look. So, right, let's go back around the room.
A Facebook user, the local 10 is something I use heavily, and he's saying about laptops cheaper and etc. etc. That's a very good point. You know, how to push yourself is, again, you can buy stuff cheaper. They're crap usually, but it's the service, you know, as in we're local, we will answer the phone again. And on that, it's amazing how you can say about answering the phone is you know, gives you an edge over business. It's just because most of the businesses out there are crap. I'm not just talking about tech business, I'm talking about every business out there. They're useless. If you try to ring up any company, and like when we sell laptops, now we always put in new batteries, but we were getting returns every so often because the batteries, we thought they were good, they weren't. But the thing about it is that it's not making mistakes, it's how you handle the mistakes. So they got a laptop off us. After a few months, the battery wasn't as good. They're expecting a company they're expecting, they're going to their phone to say, right, I'm going to have this big argument with this company. Next minute, thinking they're going to be on hold for an hour. Next minute, you answer the phone and say, right, there's a battery problem. Drop it back. We'll replace the battery, and don't worry, we'll cover the cost of that. Next minute, they're walking away. They're not walking away saying, oh no, they got a bad battery. They're walking away going, what fabulous service. They're telling people, yeah, we have an issue, but these people sorted it out. So it's not about making mistakes, it's about making things right. And then but most companies won't do that. Right. They always take the laptop for 3 to 4 weeks, and then they'll come back and say, my God, I don't know, you left it out inside and the moon and a crow flew past and you were not getting your laptop.
Right.
You know?
I think when you get to a certain point in your business, like I feel like I have, and I feel like you guys have too, you realize that, yeah, there's competition, but you can be so different and so amazing and just with a little bit of effort. And it's not that big. Like the competition actually isn't that big. Like I pay attention to my competitors, but I don't look at them as like they can take from me because we offer such great service, you know?
This is it. If they take from you, you're after dropping your service somewhat, right. Or else they're after dropping their prices completely and let them feed off that sort of customer who's going to complain. Right. I'm happy. I'm not dropping my prices. This is the standard. You're going to get a 5-star service. This is going to happen. And yes, you're going to lose some customers, but you're going to probably lose the customers who are driving you insane anyway.
Right. And for Facebook, because Facebook and LinkedIn is what I use the most for business. We are getting on TikTok because we do want to hit those younger users because, you know, they do go to their parents. So definitely if you're someone that's not on TikTok, I'll really look into that, you know. But for Facebook, I feel like a lot of business owners try to continue to use Facebook as only personal. And you really need to change that. What I do is my page has a little bit of personal, but I don't put my drama on there. I don't talk about religious things or politics. I don't post a lot of pictures of my family. It is a lot of business and motivational stuff. And what I do is I friend request people that live within a 15 to 20 mile radius from where my business is. So then when I'm posting about what we do, I'm reaching my potential client. And what I did is I went through my album on Facebook and I made those older albums that had photos that were, because I did use my Facebook page at one time in my life, all for personal. And I made them where no one could see them because I didn't want people to, what happens is when people aren't your friends and they land on your page, whatever you have that's not public, like say you don't have anything new that's not public just for your friends, they see the very old stuff of you like a teenager, like drunk or something, you know? So you really got to clean that up because anybody who lands on the page and isn't your friend, they're going to see old stuff that you don't have set privacy on. So really, I would seriously think about changing your personal Facebook page from just being for friends and family to change it to business. And then with LinkedIn, how do I find companies? I actually look for companies in my area that I think I could sell them things like, you know, factories, warehouses, trucking companies, churches, and I look for them. And then what I do is go on LinkedIn and search that company and it'll tell you the employees that are on LinkedIn that work there. Then I connect with those people. And then what I do is I comment on all of their stuff for like 2 weeks. And then I shoot them a message because then they start to see me comment. I share their stuff. I'm engaging with them. And then when I message them, they don't think of me as a spammer.
Yeah. Definitely some good advice there. I'm going to say I see it all the time where people post on their own, even on Facebook, on their own actual page using their personal profile, and all it takes is someone to click on your name, and then suddenly they click on your name and see that you're I don't know, that you're smoking weed and you're doing all sorts of weird things to different people, and you don't like jabs or you do like jabs and so forth.
Yeah.
It's a very easy. So I must admit I'm the same. My personal profile, I do have a family side, but I keep it very limited. Very, very limited.
Nothing on Facebook. Don't do anything controversial. I like what you said there about TikTok. Even like TikTok about now TikTok, most people are getting on it, but that was the case about Instagram before. If you posted, that was years ago. The kids were on it, but they would tell their parents that where to get their stuff repaired. You know, I'm gonna have to follow you on TikTok now, Nicole.
Okay. We're starting to hit up TikTok. It's been a struggle of mine. I don't want to do the dancing, so I'm trying to get my team to do it.
You don't have to. I tell you what to do. Get your daughter or get someone, get them and give them free rein. They'll know the trends. They'll know the music to pick. Give them free rein to just let them because there's a friend's daughter who's meant to be coming for some work experience there just for a week. You know, the school thing. And she's 15 or 16, and I was like, if she comes, I was going, you're doing TikTok, and she said, but would I have to ask you? No, I don't even want to see it. Do whatever you want, do the trends, do whatever, but they'll know the music to 10. Now I'm on TikTok morning, noon, and night, but throw your trust over to someone and just let them do it that way. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. That so. One thing I would suggest is before and after pictures is a good way of promoting your business. So if you're struggling, obviously things to post, you don't know what to post, how do you promote what you're doing? Well, just take pictures of what you're doing. So if someone comes in with a laptop with a smash screen, take a picture of it, replace the screen, take a picture of it with you in the picture when it's repaired, with your thumbs up and with a really cheesy grin on or something like that. And where, hey, you've just promoted yourself and told everyone what you've done and what you do at the same time, so people can see that it's not a direct sell. Like, hey, come to us, we repair screens. You're basically saying, hey, look, we've actually repaired a screen today. It sounds a lot better than a direct sell. So something like that, comparisons, there's a few people who do it. I've seen, and they do it pretty well, but make sure you stick your face in there. I know it's difficult. It's very bad to stick your face on a camera. I get
funny. Learn to laugh at yourself, like it's okay,
exactly. I hate being on camera.
Right.
Somehow I'm here. I don't know how it happened, but after 100 shows, after doing, over 500 reviews now, with my face on every single one of them, I still hate being on camera.
Right.
But I still do it anyway.
I love it. I love it. I have no problem. I love being on camera. It is not a problem.
We know that, Cormac. We know. I even catch you putting your makeup on in the pre-show, ready for it.
Yeah.
I just hate when I make a video and then I watch it 2 months later and I'm like, oh God, I didn't I want to change that, it never gets old where I just want to change something, Yeah.
So the biggest thing I see people always say about getting on camera, oh, we don't have the equipment to do it, we ain't got proper lighting, blah, blah, blah. It's all excuses. Just do it. Everyone's got a smartphone. A smartphone today is a lot better than a camera from 3 or 4 years ago. Just do it. If you haven't got lighting, well, just position yourself turn your lights on in your house, stand back from the light a little bit, and
if you're doing social media videos, okay, if you're doing things that people are going to scroll, and if you're doing an advert for your company, do them very, very short. Do them as short as you possibly can. Write what you need. If you're going to write something, half it. Never forget that people will only watch the first 3 seconds. I've looked at some things that I thought were interesting, and I looked at where the drop-off point is for people. You can see the drop-off point. You know yourself. You'll give literally, and now in the TikTok age, people will give it 1 second if you don't have it. So,
instant gratification. There's nothing outside of it.
There's no point sitting down and going on about 2 minutes about the processor inside this board already. Goodbye.
Right.
Do fucking dancing phones or something, but it's gone. You have to be quick. And that's it. And you know what? You mightn't have to say anything in that advertisement, as in you might say, "Oh, I want to sell this phone for 950, blah blah blah." It might be just enough to have the name Crosshaven Computers come up there. Crosshaven Computers, Crosshaven Computers. It's kind of like when they think that they're going to do something, then they'll pop up somewhere. See, I said Crosshaven Computers 4 times. People are still listening.
One thing I've seen what helps with videos, I'm going to say we've been doing a lot of videos. We've cut our times down for video reviews from an average of around about 20 minutes down to 5 to 6 minutes recently. So we've really cut them down.
Bill, and you're right, because I watch some of your reviews. I've been watching the mess ones and all that. And you know something? It's just, even if I'm watching an instruction video on YouTube, if I don't know, taking laptop part or anything, you will just skip. It's in our very nature to skip. Exactly. And I was watching some of the mesh ones, and they were very, very good videos, and they taught me a lot. But I will skip through because I won't have 20 minutes to sit down and watch. And that's no way personal. It's just I need to figure out how to do this. That's it. Is this product worth doing?
A lot of people are the same. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there who will watch every single second, and they'll probably watch it 5 times. Doesn't matter how much content you put out there. There's some people who will watch every single minute of it because they've got nothing else to do. But we have noticed that, obviously, when we've been doing the videos shorter, we did ask in Tech for Tech first with members, what do you prefer, shorter or longer? And generally it came out at about between 5 and 8 minutes, I think was the best time off the top of my head. So, and that's what we aim for. And we found that the retention of people, they're generally staying and watching towards the end more so. I think our retention level went from all the way to the end at around 20%, which is actually around average for YouTube. Yeah. It's gone up to around about 57%.
That's very good.
So it makes a huge difference. So even though we're sort of, because obviously YouTube stuff's monetized, we make money from adverts, all this, that, and the other. Even though there's less adverts being shown because obviously the video doesn't go on long, we're actually getting more people watch all the way to the end, and then there's more chance to go and click on another video afterwards and watch that second one, and so forth. So we're actually finding it is working a little bit better doing it that way. But one thing I'll say, and this goes for anything you're doing, video or even a picture, is put some big flashy writing on near the beginning, right at the beginning in the first few seconds, because a lot of people these days don't have the sound on when they're scrolling, or if they're scrolling on the phone, they can't see anything about. So you want that stuff popping up straight away. So if you, for example, you're doing a mesh system, like we just did a review of mesh system, straight away we want it to pop up saying, this will fix your Wi-Fi, or something along that lines, rather than just me going, and they don't, I'm holding a box and they don't know what the hell it is. Something as simple as that can actually keep people or stop them so they actually do start watching it. Because a lot of times people are just swiping or sliding or whatever the hell they do these days, scrolling up and down with a wheel on the mouse, and they miss a lot of stuff. So you need to catch people's attention. So if you're doing stuff, make it big, bold, and so people can actually figure out what it is. Get rid of all these bits of information at the beginning, like slideshows and stuff. No one wants that. They want to see the information. They want to see it big, bold, and jump at your face. Right, before we finish the show, we've got about 9 minutes. If anyone in chat does have any comments, you are very quiet tonight. I can see there's a few of you watching, but you're very, very quiet. Do obviously comment, and we'll read out what you've said. And I think we've sorted Carl out with a link as well. I think everyone sent him a link of how to actually get his name to show up now. Thanks again for that, Richard. Right, so let's go around the room. So Nicole first. So Nicole, what other ways have you got for promoting yourself? Or have you got any other ways?
Social media is really big for me, but I'll also go door to door, business to business. I mean, I don't mind to walk in somewhere and try to talk to people. But social media has really been a game changer for me. Probably about 3 years ago, nobody knew who I was. So within 3 years, I'm pretty recognizable in the States, as far as this industry goes. It's not in my city, it's within the industry. So you only have one city to dominate. That's it. Like one little area, you know what I mean? So it's just about putting your face everywhere. Posters, billboards. We have something called Blip here. I don't know if you guys have that there, which is like digital billboards.
We do have one or two around, but
really?
I don't know
we
what
have billboards everywhere here.
What it's called,
but
it's not
just
as big
having
as it
your
is over
face
there.
everywhere, social media, going online, going to networking events, and just really, really like laser focusing in on your area and try to be everywhere and meet everyone. And just like I said in the beginning, it's just your first step is self-acceptance. And stop judging yourself so much. You're fine. You look fine. Nothing's wrong with you. We're all human. Okay, we all have imperfections. Nobody's judging you. They're judging themselves. And just do it, just do it. And the painfulness will get easier and easier the more you do it.
That's pretty good advice. So what about you, Cormac? Anything else you'd like to add
Yeah,
in?
2 tips. One, where hello Alison again. Where I go to the gym, it's just next to the kind of main road into the town, okay, where there's 10,000-20,000 people coming in and out. I decide every time I go to the gym, I just park right there next to the car park, so everyone, it's on the side of the road, so everyone can see the Crosshaven Computers vehicle for an hour every day while I go into the gym. And if I go, sometimes I enjoy going up to town on the bus into the big city on a Saturday, and I just don't like driving and just get the bus, so I'll park there for all day, and then everyone sees my car. But that's not the killer tip. The killer tip is dun, dun, dun. And I told you this before, but it's coming up now. The world is free. We're allowed to socialize again. So events are going on. So we'll say St. Patrick's Day. You might have heard of that little Irish celebration adventure. Is on soon. So in my city, in an area of around 5 miles in my city, there's going to be 30 or 40,000 people watching the parade. And on the parade, they'll be all looking at their phones and Facebook and this and that. I'm going to drop an ad that day, right in that 5-mile radius on Facebook and Instagram, and just drop it and run it for the whole day, 12 hours, maybe throw 10, 12, maybe 20 quid at it. But it's going to be just in that circle with all 20,000 people. It's going to get loads and loads of views. So don't forget, you can do that at football stadiums, anywhere you want. Just circle that little radius, drop your ad, and everyone will see a big happy face.
Good point.
That sounds pretty good. On top of that, you could actually film the event on your Facebook page
and go live.
And hashtag everyone in.
But yeah, but everyone's going to be checking their Facebook, and actually, to be honest, whenever a world events goes on or anything, people will just jump to Facebook and Instagram and all that. So that's a good time to throw out ads as well,
That's absolutely brilliant, that is. So Alison says networking is also a good way to get used to talking about your business to other people. Yeah, it's definitely lots of networking groups out there. A lot of them online these days. Go to a coffee shop or whatever. I think, so
good point.
I think
Alison.
it needs to be the parade. Yeah, that's one way of putting it, Alison. That's definitely one way of putting it. So basically, let's run this show down because we've only got a few minutes left. You need to basically shout about yourself, shout about your business, what you do differently. Just make posts about it. It doesn't have to be just social media. It can be email as well. Don't make direct sale messages. Most people just don't care if you've got 5% off of the current laptops or you'll chuck in a free laptop bag or whatever. They want useful information, and sometimes doing something as simple as a picture of something you've repaired before and after will gain hell of a lot more interest. Or do something like Cormac does and jumps around and sings and dances and does all sorts, then you'll get attention that way. Don't know if it's good or bad, but it's definitely going to get people to remember who you are, that's for sure. Obviously, shout about things. Sanitizing your computer. So you sanitized it, put a sticker on. I think we got that one from Cormac, actually, that idea. So, and then we put it in a bag and say it's sanitized. Shout that you do that. There's still a lot of people out there who are still worried about COVID, whether they're right or wrong. Do it anyway. It's not going to harm you. It's not going to hurt the laptop. Just stick a sticker on it. It says sanitize. Obviously, do sanitize it before you put the sticker on, and then put it in a bag. Give it the customer back. Just shout out things you do differently. Even when you're doing a service on a computer, list all the things you do. People probably don't know. You clean it out of dust. You make change thermal paste. You stop programs from starting. You do updates and so forth. Driver updates and so on. Make a list. A lot of companies, you go and get your car serviced, they'll say, yeah, we've given your computer a 30-point checklist test or whatever. We've done all these 30 things. Do you tell your customers that? Or do you just say, we're giving it a service?
Yeah.
Yeah, service is
that. That's a
very
good idea.
generic. Make sure you shout shout what you're doing. Basically tell, well, obviously I don't mean stand in front of them and shout right in the face, but shout about it and let everyone know. And that's basically it, to be honest with you. Right, so we're pretty much at the end of the show. We will have a show on next week. No idea what that's going to be yet. I'm still waiting for confirmation. We will have a show the week after with Cougar. So that's Cougar Gaming. So they do cases, keyboards, mice, and power supplies and bits and bobs like that. So they'll be on the week after. And then we do have some other things planned going forward from there. But otherwise, we will be on next Thursday at 8 o'clock with some show. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but we will be there. Nicole, Cormac, do you have anything you want to finish off before we call it a night?
Yeah, Alison needs to come back on the show. Alison, we need you back on the show. You give good tips.
I'll tell you what, Cormac, have a word with Alison. See if you can come up with an idea for a show for next week, and I'll get you both on there. I'll put you under pressure now, Alison. Oh, sorry about that. Dry throat.
Nothing to add here. I think everything is good.
You're all good. Right. Okay. So obviously, guys, follow Nicole, follow Cormac. If you're not sure who they are or whatever, let me know and I'll send you in the right directions. But otherwise, thank you for joining us, Nicole. Thank you, Cormac. Thank you for everyone for watching tonight. And we'll see you all next Thursday at 8 p.m. Thanks again and see you later, guys.
Thank you.
Slán leat.